Here we go. Agricola. Continuing. 40. Igitur. So therefore, triumphalia ornamenta. So these are triumphal ornaments, decorations, etc. Et and illustrious statua honorum. Et. So the honor of double genitive, illustrious statue. Illustrious just means distinguished as well. So you got triumphal ornaments and the honor of a illustrious statue. Et quid, which means anything, or something, or anything. Dator should be given a pro triumpho. Pro is the ablative, so instead of a triumph. This is Domitian doing the thinking here. Multo verborum honore cumulata. This means the many honourable, it says much of words were accumulated with this honour, literally. So there are many honourable sounding words, many honours to go to Agricola were accumulated. Discerne in senatu ubit. So Domitian is ordering, taking the infinitive, to be decided in the Senate, in senatu, the fourth declension. Adequi, and, that's the enclitic, and to be added in super opinionem, which in super is an adverb, means above usually. And above what was expected, the opinionium. Or and he added that besides these things which would be decided in the Senate, Syriam provinciam, which is accusative in apposition, the province of Syria, literally, be destinare, would be determined or decided for Agricola, looks dative, Agricola with the AE at the end. Vacuam tum morte Attili Rufus Consalius. Okay, so this Syria provinciam vacuam. The province was vacant then, tum, by the death, in the ablative, of Attilius Rufus Consul, the consul. So we've got the double genitive or triple genitive. These are all genitives. Then with the death of Attilius Rufus the consul, in maioribus reservatum. So this Syria province is vacuam and it's reservatum. It's reserved for maioribus. It's a comparative. These are people of greater grandness, of great, reserved for great people, basically. Credidere, something is believing. Pleriqui means most people are, so I'm guessing most people, credidere, most people believe. A libertum, this is a freed man, someone who's not naturally born, but freed from being a slave. Ex secutoribus, another comparative, going with maioribus above. Ministerius missum. So this libertum, the freedman was missum, was sent from the more secreta or separated ministeries. This is like an internal board of ministeries, administrators, basically. Ad Agricola, ad with accusative, to Agricola, codicillos. So this is what was sent. Codicillos is letters, basically, or dispatches as they're called. So most people believe that freedmen had been sent to Agricola Tulisi. So he was carrying these codicillos, quibus, in which, ei to him, Syria dabator, which were given to him in Syria. I'm guessing that's locative. Cum eo praecepto ut. So this is with eo praecepto, with this instruction, that's a demonstrative pronoun, with this instruction ut, that, see, if in Britannia for it, so if he was being in Britain, so these people are believing it was given to him in Syria with instructions that if he was in Britain, a traderental, it would be given to him. Actually, dabate is passive, so it was saying Syria is the nominative. The nominative was being acted on by the passive, so in which Syria was offered to him. Eum qui libertum, in this freedom, freedman, eum and libertum are in apposition, in ipso fretto oceano, in the frets itself of the ocean, in the straits of the ocean, so this is just off the shore, probably is actually on the shore unless he was in a boat. He obvium dative to Agricola, he met with Agricola. Ne quidam, so not even appellato eum, so he hadn't even literally called him or spoken to him, maybe. And ad domitium remise. Remio is a way of just saying he's travelled or he's moved. So means he came back. So he came back to the mission, and he'd not even spoken to him, looks like. Siv verum istud, siv ex ingenio, principis fictum and compositum est. That's the end of the sentence. So siv and siv are correlatives giving options. So either istud, this demonstrative pronoun, was verum, was true, or from the ingenio of the principle of the prince, of the emperor, from his character of the, it was fictum, created and composed. So it was just created and written down. Tre dederat iterum. So meanwhile, Agricola, a nominative, tre diderated to this dative successori suo, to his successor, a provinciam quietam tutumque. So he handed over to his successor a province which was quiet and safe. Ac and nay, looks like lest notabilis celebritate, which would be ablative, and so lest there be a celebration of notable worth, and a frequentia occurrentium, which looks present participle with the IUM ending, introitus esse, so there'd be a crowding of people coming to meet him. So this would be celebrations of notable worth and crowdedness of people coming to meet him. He introitus, past passive, means he entered. So he's entered. Vitatio amicorum officio noctu, these look ablative. So a vitatio is an avoidance of the duty amicorum of his friends, so having avoided with the duties of his friends, which would be to come and say hello to him, I'm guessing. Noctu in urbem, by night he came into the city. We've got introitus, so we know he came by night into the city. Noctu in the palatium, by night he came into the palatium, which is a palace. Ita ut are correlatives, and thus so as praeceptum erat, as he had been ordered in that little clause, venit. So that's how he came. He avoided his friends. Acceptusque, and he was accepted, he was received. Brevi osculo, brevi is the ablative form of the third adjectives. So with a brief kiss, a brief osculo, and nullo sermone, with no conversation. Turbe servientum in mixtus est. So in mixtus here is describing him. It's the adjective or past passive form. So he mixed in with a turba, which is a crowd, servientum, of those serving, the servants. So I've got a daily dictionary word for officium, which you see all the time. Service kindness. So when he came into the city with no officium of his friends, so no kindness or duty of his friends, which you'd think. And I use this the site, the Morpho site again, which parses a billion different versions of it. Officium, a service, kindness, favour or courtesy. So it's probably here many kindness. 384th most frequent word, so you've probably seen it 1,000 million times. Where are we? Ceterum. And the rest, utai. I wonder which utai this could be. Ut. So, nomen militare, this is the military name, militare there. Grave, which is serious, inter otios, amongst those who are idle or at leisure. Alias virtutibus temperat. Okay, so for the rest, so that he could temper it, or he could moderate this or calm it down with other virtues. Tranquillitatem and otium, so penitus horset. So he drew in, this is used for drinking actually, horset. Penitus is the adverb for deeply. So he drew upon tranquility and otium. Again, contrasting with the otiosis there. So he's tempered this military name by other virtues, because it's serious amongst all these people who have too much free time. He drew deeply from tranquility and otium. In cultu, which is his dress, he was modicus, so he was just mild or middling with his clothing. In his sermon, his conversation, he was faculous, he was easygoing. Uno or alto amacorum comitatus. Comitatus is describing that he has companions, and uno or alto means he had one or another, so just one or two of his friends. Adiout. To such an extent that they're correlatives. Pleriqui, most people. Quibus magnus viros per ambitione estimare moses. So most people with whose their moses, their custom is to estimare, moses is taken the infinitive, is to estimate or to regard magnus viros, great men accusative plural, through their ambition. Viso and aspecto qui Agricola. This looks ablative, so having seen and aspecto looked in at Agricola, they'd seen and looked over Agricola, they were querenting. This is the pluriqui, that these most people, they are taking the NT, they are wondering or inquiring as to his fame. There's great rumours and reports of him. And porci, only a few number, interpreter, they could interpret or understand the man. 41. Cribro, so frequently, per eos dios, through these days, accusatives, apud Domitianum, with Domitian or amongst, usually it means absens accusatus. So this would be Agricola, he was accusatist, absent. In his absence, with dominion, and absence absolutus est, and in his absence he was resolved of this or cleared of the charge. Cause of periculi, usually causes after it, but the cause of danger, non crimen ullum, ullum's one of the naughty nine, usually goes with a non, so there was not any crimen, no accusation, incrimination, or querella laesae quis quem, of anyone who had provoking this querella as a little complaint. So the cause of this danger was not any accusation or of anyone making a complaint said, but infessus virtutibus praeseps, but a hostile princeps, the hostile leader, the hostile emperor, infessus goes with that, to dative, to those who are virtuous, those people who have virtues or valor. It's also a female noun. And gloria viri, and the glory of the man, and pessimum inimicorum genus, and in the worst type of enemies, inimicorum, genus is the type, laudentes. This looks substantive as well. So this would be those people who will praise him. These are the worst type of enemies. So this leader, again, he was hostile, the glories of the man, and to anyone of virtue. He's the worst type of people. He was hostile to the people who were praiseworthy, basically. Et ea insecuta sunt. And ea, some topic, insecuta followed. Republica tempora. So ea temporo, it's actually a neuter word. And they followed this time to the Republic of the Republic, quae in which Celeri Agricolam non sinerant, which they did not allow, sinerant, Agricola to be silent. Tot exercitus. So many armies. It's a fourth declension. We saw yesterday it's also a past passive, meaning trouble. So sometimes exercitus, besides being an army, can mean trouble. And if it's referring to a person, it will be a troubled mind. So many armies in Moesia, Dacia, Qui, and Germany et Pannonia. So these are four places. Temeritate or per ignavium ducam amisses. So many armies, they are missi, it's plural, they had lost by temeritate, by temerity or rashness, or through ignavia, which is cowardly or slothful actions. Ducum, genitive plural, of the leaders. They had lost these. Tot militare viri, these are positions. So many military men, these would probably be officers, with cum tot cohortibus, with so many again cohorts. Expugnati, they were being stormed at capti and captured. Now, actually, this is in 84 and 94 AD. I'm pretty sure. Nec yam. So neither yam now de limitate imperius. So this was the frontier, the boundary of the empire at Rippa, which are the banks. Sed de hibernus legion, but the winter quarters of the legion at possessione, and it's probably taking this day again, and the possession dubitatum. So now dubitatum means it was dubious or danger. Now was not the boundaries of the empire and the Ripper, the bank of the Danube River, they say, but the actual camp of the legions and the possession, the ownership of that territory. Ita, so thus, cum damnis continuarentur, when loss continuarentur to loss, so loss upon loss continued, damage the damage, and omnis annis, and all years, funeribus incladiabus insigniretur, with these funerals and clads are disasters, so with these deaths and disasters were signified, insignitur, every year was insignified with these funerals and disasters. Poscabator ore vulgi, it was demanded, passive, by the mouth of the vulgar, the common people, they were demanding this, adux Agricola. So, the leader Agricola, the general Agricola, was demanded by the mouths of the common people. Comperantibus cunctis vigor. Usually compero doesn't mean to compare, but here it is. So this is with a comparison to all. His vigor, his constantiam, which is his steadfastness and determination, and his expertum bellus, and his experience in war. Again, that's just the normal use of expertum. Animum's his mind or his courage or something. Cum inertia and formidonine aliorum, with the inertia, or again the sluggishness and slothfulness, and the formidonine, the dread and fearing of the others. So they're comparing his vigor, constantiam, and experts with those of the inertia and formidonine of the other leaders. We're almost done. Quibus sermonibus satis constat. Constat's impersonal, it means it's agreed. Satis is satisfactory. So with these sermons, these conversations, satisfactorily it's agreed. Domitiane quoque oris verberatus, and also verberatus means beating his ears of dominion. It's satisfactorily agreed. Dum, while the optimus quisque libetorum, while each one, the quisque, the optimus, these are the best of the freedmen, libetorum, amore in fide, with love and loyalty, you might want to say, and the pessimi, so we've got the optimus is the best, each one, it's a singular, and here we have pessimi as a group of plural, by malignitate and livor, this is maliciousness and livor, which is envy, I'm guessing you want to say, pronum detoriabus, comparative, principem stimulate. So they were pricking up the ears, stimulating the princeps. This is Domitian, the leader, the emperor, who was prone to the worst side of things. Sic. Thus Agricola, simul suis virtibus, the same time with his virtues, and the simul vitis aliorum, and at the same time, by the faults of aliorum of others, in ipsam gloriam praeseps agabator. Praeseps means headlong, it goes with Agricola. Agricola was going head first into glory itself, or into his own glory. Agabator is just the verb.